next guest. He is an actor, filmmaker, and broadcaster whose immense body of work includes, but is absolutely not limited to, Full House, Step by Step, Peter Pan and the Pirates. That was the other Peter Pan cartoon put out in the 90s. Extreme Ghostbusters, Static Shock, Young Justice, G.I. Joe Renegades, Transformers Rescue Bots, Lion King 2, Hocus Pocus, a very goofy movie, and is the only actor in history to have portrayed Superman, Batman, and Robin. Please welcome everyone's friend, Jason Marsden.
Oh, it's me.
Oh, no, it's you. Hi, how you doing?
Wait, I had to see it right
I know, it's all good, it's all good.
Okay. How's it going? This is mine?
That's yours.
Excellent. Damn. What's going on, GalaxyCon? Yes. What's going on?
GalaxyCon Animate.
Animate.
GalaxyCon is our parent company, and Animate is our sub-brand that we're coming out to communities like you for the first time, kind of testing the waters. And things get bigger, maybe we'll bring a GalaxyCon here, which is more than just animates, voice actors, and all that fun stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
Animate. Yeah. We digging it so far? Yeah. Heck yeah.
Now, let's make it. Hi, have you been digging it so far?
I love it.
Oh.
I love Iowa. I never thought I'd ever go to Iowa. And I feel guilty. I'm like, why do we just brush over Iowa? But I'm here. I'm like, it's pretty dope.
It really is. Everybody's so chill, and I have to say, you have absolutely the nicest state capital I've ever been. It's one of the nicest structures in general I've ever been in my life. It's like going into Hogwarts.
Yes, I walked to it last night. It was like, guiding me there, and just I love architecture and a lot of historical buildings in here, and it was just marvelous to look at. I went through there's a library nearby, and there was like a little garden to walk through, and I didn't get mugged or nothing. I tried. I was like, someone. Action. No, nobody wanted. No, it's too cool.
No, absolutely. And speaking of cool, you're pretty cool.
You're cool.
No, you're cool. Okay, I've heard this story, but I'd love our audience to hear it. Let's just go back to a little bit of the origin story. How'd you get pulled into acting? I
was 11, and I was adorable. Patty.
You still are.
Thank you. I was fishing.
Still are, yes.
I was like, moved to Los Angeles. I'm originally from Rhode Island, and my stepfather got a gig teaching ballet at Fullerton College. So we drove cross country in a van with two cats and a mom, my mom, and ended up in Anaheim. And then someone suggested to my mom, like, oh, you should get your son into acting. She thought it was a good idea. I didn't mind it. We went to a workshop. The workshop. Trained, it was like all ages. Trained us for 12 weeks, sent me to an agent. Agent signed me that day, and then immediately started saturating me on auditions. So, like movies, TV, commercial, voiceover, and I've just been fortunate. I think right place, right time, maybe.
I think it too. And another interesting thing about it is that you kind of went in both feet with both on-camera acting and voice acting. Sometimes there's like a long period, but it seemed like as soon as they could throw you into a booth, you were doing those kind of gigs as well.
Yeah, like I said, my agent was very aggressive, and I was reading for everything, and thankfully, like voiceover was something I had an aptitude for.
I'm telling you, this kid's gonna be the next big thing.
Yeah, right. That's what they're doing. The big cigar, and very actually quickly we had a children's division, a youth division, and then we had the adult division upstairs, and they had like all the big power players for voiceover, Dan Castellaneta, from The Simpsons, and all those cats, and they moved me up there rather quickly. But the first cartoon I ever did was Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Does anyone remember that? And I was Kevin. I was the boy who was friends with the Gummy Bears, and I was the second or third actor to do that because all of us kept going through puberty, so we didn't sound like little boys anymore. So I filled in.
you filled in a lot of your roles.
Yes. I'm never. If you really, and I know that you do this, like really study my resume, you'll notice I come in like I'm joined in like the last season of something. I'm always like the replacement. They never go to Mars first. It's fine. It's fine.
A gig is a gig.
A gig is a gig. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Someone else's script. Well, that's how the Witch movie, where you played the talking feline that we won't name, but
right.
yeah, you were kind of the Hail Mary on that, weren't you?
Yes. Yes. Does anyone know what we're talking about? Yes. Yes.
So the Witch movie?
Which movie? That
Abracadabra.
No. Mm-hmm. I put a blank on you. y'all recognize that wasn't me in the beginning of this film? Yeah. Yes, that was the fantastically talented Sean Murray from CSI, who was NCIS. That's what I said. Playback.
Jedi mind trick.
But he was cast to play the human character and play the cat and do the voice of the cat. And the movie was done. It was wrapped. They had animated most of the cat. They had done most of the music, and they're like, man, we think it should sound different. I think Sean was using his own voice, and they thought, this cat is 300 years old from colonial Salem. He should have an old world sort of sound. And that's what I didn't know I was replacing anybody. I was familiar with the project. I had actually read for the role of that Omri got. And then I was like, he should have it. I just gave it to him. This kid needs some work. But it was just much more cost effective to put me behind the mic than to get the outfit, get the cameras, and reshoot the whole thing.
And again, so much time in the booth, and again, so many characters. Again, I will always love Peter Pan and the Pirates.
Oh man, there's a throwback.
Yeah, I know, and that's like one of the greatest cartoons that has been buried because now Disney owns it, and they only want their version of Peter Pan.
They'll never see it again. Maybe there's like some clips on YouTube. Do you know what we're talking about? It was in the 90s. Fox did their own Peter Pan cartoon. And I was Peter, and Tim Curry.
Tim Curry was Captain Hook.
Yes, Captain Hook. Yes, he was wonderful. And my other pal, Josh Keaton, who's here. He was 12. He was one of the Lost Boys. Yeah. We worked on that together for the first time. There's like there's 8 of us in this one tiny booth. And you want to hear my Tim Curry story?
Yes.
I have to.
I've never heard this. Yeah, please.
I have to use the F word. Can I use the F word? Yeah. Is that cool? Do you have consent for the F word? Okay. Is that because it's just much better if I say it. So I didn't know if Tim Curry just didn't like kids or didn't like me. But he was not aloof, but I just couldn't get a read on him. But he would kind of mess with us in the booth. He would just kind of like flick paper clips at the kids and pretend he didn't do it. So I'm like, all right, so he's messing with us. Maybe he wants to be messed with back. So he's about to record a line as Captain Hook. And the amazing Michael Bell, another fantastic voice actor, was directing the sessions. And we're all, the booth was filled, adults, kids, we're all talking, and Michael gets on the button. He's like, all right, everyone, please be quiet. An actor is working. And I went, where? And I was asking for it. And Tim Curry looked at me and went, over here, fuckhead. Yes.
Michael Bell, the voice of Duke from G.I. Joe, the original. Yes. And a million other things. Yes, absolutely. Over here.
Over here. Yes, my other peers who know that story, we haven't seen each other a long time. I go, hey, over here, fuckhead.
And of course, one of your signature roles, Max Goof, which is just again the legacy of those films. Which we won't name by name, but we'll talk about the character and we'll talk about the wonderful synchronicity between you and Bill, the voice of Goofy.
Yes,
and
isn't he wonderful?
And again, those films are still remembered. Do we have fans of movies that star Goofy and his son? Okay,
it's so
cool.
Funny.
I know.
How do we say that's it's the name? His name is Goofy, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Have you all met? You met Bill Farmer?
Yes.
Has anyone here got a chance to meet Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy? If you do, who said yes? The kid said yes.
Yes. Kid
Cadet is in the house.
Kid Cadet, one of our amazing moderator and hostesses in her own right. Every round of applause for her. She's done a great job this weekend.
Amazing singer too. You get her karaoke and you're like, oh, I'm not going to go up.
No.
Thanks. I'll just stay here. Bill Farmer. So like when he goes to conventions, I love being next to him because he'll, like most people don't know who he is. He's just this unassuming gentleman with usually a Hawaiian shirt or a Goofy shirt, and he'll be on with his glasses on his phone doing something, and someone will look at him and they'll look at the picture of Goofy and look back at him and they'll go, Are you Goofy? And he'll go, gosh, I sure am. And and the people you just watch it, they burst into confetti. It's like, wow, he makes them so happy. I love it. And he's such a cool guy. I love him so much.
Oh, absolutely. And again, that role, and that's a role you inherited, but
Yes.
that was.
Well, I mean, I did audition for it, and Dana was still with us. So Dana Hill, the late great Dana Hill, was originated the voice of Max in Goof Troop. For the film, they wanted I think like an authentic male sound instead of an actress doing a put-on sound. She was still very much with us, and I think I got her blessing for that. But yeah.
That's absolutely good. And again, I love that I was the guy that pointed this out to you about the whole Superman, Batman, Robin.
Yes.
connotation. You need to put that like in a big banner or something. You know.
That's so much fun.
So
Yeah.
he played young Clark Kent in Superman Adventures.
Yes.
Which was the '80s series.
That's
put up by
right.
Ruby Spears. It was like one season. It's actually pretty good.
It is great. Yeah. Bruce Timm produced as well.
Yeah, before they went the full Tim with Batman the Animated Series. Then you did young Bruce Wayne in Batman Strikes.
Yes, I did.
And then you played Burt Ward Robin in the live action, in the film about that TV show in the 60s with the cowl guy.
Yes, Adam West.
Yes, the Adam West, yeah.
And I just did
that movie I can't name.
I just did Dick Grayson in another Batman animated thing, and then they didn't. I think because they knew that I played Burt Ward, they had me play like a Robin character in Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yes.
So I'm always peppered in those things. I think I've been in every single one of the Batman animated shows, which is
I think you're right.
which is a treat because
in your lifetime.
Yes, yeah, in my lifetime, yes.
Yeah, you were in the Filmation '69.
No, I was not. I was not in Super Friends, sadly. No, but I watched the heck out of that.
Absolutely. I'll throw this out, and then actually two more. Then I'll turn it over to our audience. You spent so much time in the booth. What's the craziest thing that's happened to you in the recording booth?
Besides being called a fuckhead by Tim Curry.
Exactly. Yeah. What's the second craziest thing?
Second craziest thing in the booth, man. I mean, anytime you get. It's so sad. It's so bittersweet because we don't work as a group anymore, especially since COVID. Like, I haven't worked with another actor in so long. But when you're lucky enough to share a booth with all these other knuckleheads who are just fantastically talented, I'm constantly in awe of the people I work with. There's an actor, Kevin Michael Richardson, you've heard him in so many things, and Lilo and Stitch, and he was the Joker in The Batman, and Jim Cummings is Winnie the Pooh, Darkwing Duck. The two of them will start doing dueling James Gandolfini impressions, which is hilarious, and then sometimes can be really crass and awful, and things like should not repeat. Both the actors, even like the female actors, just make you blush. It's a good time.
That would do it. And again, being part of so many of these fandoms, and you have really made some fantastic memories for a lot of people.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And on behalf of everybody here, I thank you for your talent. I thank you for your professionalism. I thank you for the performances you brought to all the roles, bro. Because you've made a tremendous difference in so many people's lives.
Now, we're friends in real life, and you've never said this to me. You always say the opposite to me, so I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Thank you, pal. I appreciate that.
No, man, it's absolutely earned it. And thank you. And you're a friend to the fans. That's what I love about it, too. You come to the table, and you spend time with everybody, and you know.
Well, I love attention, so I'll just admit that right off the bat.
We can tell that from how you dress.
Yes. I love attention, and I love meeting you guys. I'm a fan too. Like I said, the people I worked with. I did a Transformers cartoon with Peter Cullen. Peter Cullen, the OG voice of Optimus Prime.
Another sweetheart.
And I mean, that was like my show when I was a kid. I couldn't wait to get home from school to the block of like He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Peter didn't record with us. He came in separately, but I made sure to get in the studio early so I could meet him. I never met him. Super nice guy, not like our height, you know.
Yeah, I know.
has like a ranch in Montana, like super, like sort of like a quiet, soft-spoken voice. And then he gets in the booth and he starts talking like Optimus Prime. All right, everyone, roll out. And I tell you, I was jettisoned back to my 12-year-old self. I started getting emotional. So I know how it feels, and I definitely lean into it. People come up to me, they love a Spirited Away or Goofy movie, and it's so easy. It's such a pleasure to give a little bit of that to you guys to make you happy. It pleases me to no end. Oh, stop. You just because he told you to do it. No, I want authentic applause. Authentic applause. All right, wait. Oh, no. That's excellent.
See, there you go.
I didn't hear you. We were joking about that the other night. That's one of my pet peeves is going to a concert or something, and someone's like, is everyone having a good time tonight? What? That wasn't good enough. And I get upset. I'm like, what? I mean, you got to earn it. I'm not going to be louder because you want louder. That's just me. I'm a sensitive cupcake.
Yeah, we have that too. So, all right, cool. Well, thank you for indulging my capricious curiosity.
Sure. Should I stand too?
I'll be over here on the yellow X if somebody wants to come on by and start us a question. And whoever asks the first question will get 2 pieces of candy.
Oh, that's what he's got. I saw him pull out the candy. I was like, what's he doing with the candy?
That's right.
You get a treat.
Okay.
We have to bribe people to talk to me?
I bribe everybody. Everybody gets one when they ask, So, and if they break the rules, then they don't get one. But they ask, okay. All right. What's your name?
Nathan.
Nathan, that's right.
Hello again.
Yeah, hello again. I did want to ask. It's one of the older characters that you have done.
I think I know. We discussed this earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did Interplay or Black Isle Studios ever reveal to you if Myron from Fallout 2 did make Jet the chem in the game?
Okay.
That sounds pretty deep.
It's way deep. This is a deep cut. So I have to admit something to you guys. Sometimes and it sounds like I'm being pretentious, but I maybe am, but I sometimes forget stuff I work on. I've been so fortunate that I've worked in 37 years, and sometimes they'll just call me and tell me to go someplace, and I show up, I do the thing, and then I completely forget about it. So he's talking about a video game, Fallout, which I do kind of remember recording, because I remember the picture of the character, and he was very grotesque-looking drug dealer guy, and I remember I had to say the F word a lot. But as far as like the details of the story, I don't remember anything. I'm sorry. No, and no, the studios do not communicate with the actors in that way. So I'm sorry. I'm disappointed.
There's your 2.
There you go. That's why you have candy, because they get disappointed with my answers. So like, here's something.
Nobody drowns in my pool. Right.
Hello, Raven.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Nia, and I wanted to ask, when you were working on the Goofy movie, did you get to meet Dante Bosco?
Absolutely.
Let me rephrase that. Have you ever met Dante Bosco?
I've known Dante since even before that. Dante said the line, Stacy, talk to me, baby. That was Dante, also Rufio, also like amazing human being. Yeah, love Dante. I would see him off and on in the audition circuit, and then we really like solidified a friendship at conventions as adults, and we would go out to dinner, and I was blown away by his spoken word talent. I don't know if you know this, but he writes poetry, and it's outstanding. And he actually led a poetry panel at a convention that maybe Animate could consider doing something like this too. Where he kind of did some spoken word, he kind of hosted it, but he invited anyone in the audience who had poems to come up. And I'm telling you, it was like you need to pay like tickets. I mean, like people were pouring their guts out on stage. Some very, very personal poems that people had wrote and they decided to share with us. It was so wonderful. I live in Nashville. I invited Dante to come to Nashville so we could do it for our community. I was like, I'll book a club. You do it. I'll advertise it's you. And we did the same thing. He did a little bit of his stuff, and people just signed up. And we had like 25 people sign up and do poetry. It was wonderful. Yeah, love me some Dante. Love me. He just got married. I'm so upset. He couldn't wait for me. I don't know. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, have you ever met him?
No.
Okay, then we know who to bring next year.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Hey, what's your name?
My name's Risham.
What do you want to know?
What's up, Richie?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember what I wanted to ask. So you were on Static Shock.
Yes.
if you were in the same space with him, could you tell us a little bit about working with Phil Lamar?
Oh man, yeah, we worked. We did that show as a group, and it was me, it was Phil, it was Kevin Michael Richardson, Kelly Williams. Who else? We had Danica McKellar pop in every so often. Danny Cooksey. Oh man, it was so much fun. And I worked with Phil before that in a show called The Weekenders. So this is like our third time working together, because then he was Green Lantern in Justice League, and I played Snapper Carr, the guy with the microphone. Phil is outstanding. I was a fan of his even before I met him, from like Pulp Fiction, from his work in Mad TV. He is ridiculously talented. We just hung out together in Atlanta. Love him so much. I was so happy to work with him on that. And what a great show that was too. Anyone watch Static Shock? Anyone seen that? Check it out. It's good. I think it's on the one of those networks that we can't talk about. I don't know. Yeah.
There you go.
Enjoy your candy, young man.
I can attest to Phil is an amazing guy. We've had him as guests on our other shows.
Yes.
Yes. So we should bring him next year, or try to.
Yes.
Okay, we'll try. All right, we're making a list. Okay, Tiffany, take this down.
One of my favorite Phil Lamar performances is Samurai Jack. I love that show so hard.
Oh, yeah.
I never got to be on that show. I was so jealous, but I watched the heck out of it. Hello again.
Hi.
Again.
What's your name?
It's Heather.
Hi, Heather.
So you might have to tango with this question, and I'm sorry. Is there a role that you regret taking or not taking?
Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. I'm trying to give you. There's a couple. I mean, it's a fun story. Gosh. Okay. So this is one of those things. It's like, I'm a human being, but sometimes it could be too much of a good thing. And I got to be the voice of Toon Disney for 5 years. Coming up next, it's this, followed by that, only on Toon Disney. Coming up next, it's American Dragon Jake Long, starring Dante Bosco. At some point, I think my brain was like, you can only be so enthusiastic about something for so long before your brain melts. Plus, to get a little bit political, like, Disney is a corporation. It's not show talent. It's not show friends. It's not show family. As much as they make you think you're family, you're not. We're all freelance actors, okay? So it is a business. And at some point, they kept piling on more and more work for me. I had to be on standby. Like I couldn't just like leave town, even though it wasn't like really specified in a contract. It wasn't even a contract. It was a note. It was very, very, very strange. So I was feeling a little used. I was feeling a little undervalued. So I was like, I think I got to walk away from this for my own sanity. So that's what I did. And most people were like, but that's like a very lucrative job. But it's like, I had to follow my heart. I'll be fine. They'll be fine. Let's move on to a job where I'm not upset going to work all the time. So I loved it while I was doing it, and after a while, it just got a little bit too much. Yeah. You bet.
Heather, great question.
Enjoy your candy. Yes.
Hey, what's your name?
Hey, I'm Vinny.
Hey, Vinny.
So when you were working on the Goofy movie, did you ever think that there were moments with Max that kind of related to your life?
When you were working on a project, did you ever think there were moments with Max in your life? Yes.
Max was such a dick to his dad. I mean, he really was. He was. I mean, Goofy's so sweet. And I had a really hard time emoting that stuff, being so angry, because if I talked to my parents like that, I would have been smacked. And they open hand slap. That's what they used to do at the time. Still do. No. But Kevin Lima, our director, has talked about this publicly some. But he had a sort of a tumultuous relationship with his father. I don't think he was there, so I think he was directing that trauma through me, through Max, and as much as I didn't like doing it, I mean, it worked for the character. It really did. And I love how people say, like, if you study like a movie structure, like Max is probably like the villain of that movie. He's the one that's,
We've talked about that before. I think he's more like an anti-hero in the movie.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way too. I mean, it all works out though.
Yes. And also, you work with Bill Farmer, who's just a lovely guy. But that's not like me at all. No, man.
There you go. I think we talked about this too. It's interesting because at that age, we're like, oh yeah, Max is so cool. And then we realize we turned the corner at a certain point in our age, we're like, oh yeah, we're on the dad side now.
Yes. He just wanted to take his son fishing. Come on. And your kid is like, he just wanted to go to a concert.
Pretty much.
Love it.
Hi, what's your name?
Megan.
Hey, Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Hi. I think another good role that you've done, Goofy and all. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied right now.
You're doing great.
One of my other favorite characters you've done is Haku. I was wondering, was it harder to do a dub or just like doing like Max, just doing like a normal recording?
Sure. A dub is definitely more challenging, for sure. Does everyone know what Megan's referring to? ADR. It's just challenging because it's very technical, and then you have to emote at the same time. But it's something I like to do. It's kind of like a game to me. So I embrace it. I love it, and it's always kind of come easy, and especially. And we took our time with that. I think we had to because it was a feature film. And Kirk Wise, who co-directed Beauty and the Beast, was our dialogue director. And so I had tremendous guidance. It looked fantastic. And it was a blast to do.
Cool.
I feel like I'm over-answering questions. Am I doing? Okay. Is that good? You satisfied? Yes. Okay. Hello again.
Hi.
Hey.
What's your name?
Elissa.
Hey, Alyssa, what would you like to know?
I was wondering when you were doing the character of Binx during Hocus Pocus, did you?
During a project.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Did you ever meet the cats who played that character?
Did I meet the cats?
The actual cats that they used.
Oh my God, that's a good question. So here's the fun thing about that movie. I mentioned it earlier, but my participation came in when the movie was done. That said, I was on set for a couple of days because I was working on a TV show when they were shooting that film, and I knew Omri, I knew Vanessa, so I went over and hung out and just visited them. And I was on it was the witch's house was in a soundstage. It looked amazing, but sadly I did not see any cats. But Vanessa will talk about, she remembers a wall of cats is what she describes. Just cages of different cats, because cats, I think they learn up to one trick, and then F you, I'm going to eat, So they have a wall of cats. Each cat does a different trick. One will jump, one does this, one meows on cue. And then and I forget his name. I follow his daughter on TikTok. He was one of the creators of the Chucky puppet, but he created some of the animatronic cats that were on set. And if you've seen any footage of it, he's holding one, and the tail is going. It almost looks organic. It looks very, very real. And then they had the first movie they applied CG to make an animal talk in this film as well. But sorry, didn't meet any cats.
You're a cat fancier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
My mom has a masquerade cat.
A masquerade?
Yeah, a masquerade face cat thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's adorable.
Yes.
Here. One for you and one for your mom.
Thanks.
All right, and you have a great cosplay, by the way. You're out. Say nice cosplay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey. Hi, what's your name?
Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
I was just wondering, what would Max's favorite song be in 2023?
What would his favorite song be in 2023? Oh my gosh, if he's still into the pop, oh man. I don't know any current. I'm that guy. He probably, as a true try-hard, if he's our age now, really digging nostalgia, he'd probably be a pure Powerline fan through and through.
Absolutely.
Still.
Would you have do you have a theory? What would he listen to now?
He probably still listened to Eye to Eye from the movie.
He probably still has on a rotation, absolutely. Yeah. Roxanne, it's our song. Yeah, I'm 48. My voice still cracks.
There you go. Thank you. Good one. Welcome back. What you got now?
Okay, in regards to similar to that question, we haven't seen Max Goof probably since like a Christmas special or something on Disney, or I think Disney's House of Mouse. Are we ever going to see Max again? Like, is there any plans for the future where Max make a comeback as his son or whatever the case may be?
You see him a lot in the theme parks, and I did recorded Max for his own show. He had his own show in Paris, Disneyland Paris, and I just recorded a show that will be on the Disney Cruise Line. It's a Christmas show, and there's a little bit of Max in there as well. As far as like on camera, again, any animated thing, there's no discussion of that at the moment. But by
the same token, though, he's kind of at the tail end of that assembly line, you know. That's like up there at the studio level and stuff like that. So
yes, I mean I can make a call, but they're not going to answer. You know, they don't. But you guys, you guys have all the power. You can write emails and tweets and hashtags and stuff. That helps. What's going on, Jedi?
Hey, what's your name?
Shannon. I'd like to know if there's a character from a book or tale or anything that you enjoy that you would like to take a crack at.
Oh, I used to read Calvin and Hobbes to my son all the time, and I would do the voices. And Calvin was just sort of like my young boy voice, and Hobbes was always like my own voice, a little bit more, arrogant. And I was like, oh man, if they ever, which they never will, because the creator very smartly is like, no, I'm good. I've done this. There's no need to license. This is going to exist as is, and I have so much respect for that. But that would be a dream to do something like that for sure. Yeah,
absolutely too. You saw like about a year and a half ago when Berkeley Breeze brought them back.
No.
In Bloom County.
He did?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Watterson gave him full permission. He's like, hey, I would love to do it. And so he wrote. Opus and the gang found Hobbes, and they were trying to find Calvin. And I'll let you look it online because you find out what adult Calvin has been doing now, and it's nice.
That's awesome. I just sparked a memory. I remember reading for like an Opus. It was a movie. It was like a 3D movie. I don't know if it ever came out, but I got this close, and I never ended up seeing it. It was like that would be another IP I'd like to be part of.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but look it up online. It's pretty amazing.
I will.
And it was Watterson's full approval.
Nice.
Which is because he doesn't give approval for anything.
Sure.
Absolutely. So
right on.
Hey, what's your name?
My name's Dennis, and my question is, was there a role that you either turned down or didn't get, but then you saw the actor who got that role and was like, you know what? Yeah, they that's who it should have been.
Oh man, first off, I try not to turn down roles because I do like to eat. I like to pay my rent. There's been a couple times. I did. Does anyone watch Full House? Any Full House fans? So did anyone remember me in Full House? I played Nelson, one of her boyfriends, the rich guy. And did anyone watch Fuller House?
You played a character named Nelson on a TV show about a house.
About a house, yes. Sorry. Thank you for.
You're welcome.
And then and the other version of it that was on that streaming network. You know what I'm talking about? And then and did you see that episode? But it was the character, but it wasn't me. Yeah. Okay. So here's why that happened. I got invited to DragonCon, and I'm like, I have to do that. That seems like a good time. I've never been. I lived in Nashville. I'm like, I could drive I could either, have them fly me to LA, miss 2 days of DragonCon, or I could just drive up to DragonCon and have a really good time. So that's why I turned that down for that ultimately. And so I'm friends with Will Friedle from that other TV show, and it's weird.
Showing.
I didn't turn it down. I tried really hard, but I'm a big Batman fan, and I got toe to toe or lip to lip. That's weird with Will Friedle. For Batman Beyond, and he booked it appropriately, and he was devastated. He didn't want to tell me. I had to find out from someone else. He's like, he felt so bad because he knew I wanted it so bad, but he nailed it. He does such a great job in that cartoon.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you. Yeah, there you go.
I love it. Y'all want like the dirt, the backstage dirt. I love it.
Hey, come on. Yeah, but yeah. So wait, get you on camera. There you go.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Say again.
My name's Amy.
Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hey. I was wondering, what character have you played is your favorite, and what one are you most like?
Oh, good question. The answer is always, it's hard to pick my favorite character. They're all like, it's like picking your favorite child. I only have one child, so that's easy. But I go through the Rolodex of characters, and it's like, I'm associated with people I work with, the environment, the story. I can give you like top 5, but it's hard to pick just the one. And as far as every character is always a little bit like me. There's always a lot of me in them, and I've noticed. And Patty, you probably do this because you study my work daily. But I always see
every day. Every day. Brush my teeth. Look at your IMBD.
Sorry, it's Sunday. But you've noticed that I always seem to play like fast-talking, arrogant people. So I don't know if that which is kind of me a little bit, but that always I always seem to book those kind of roles.
Yeah. So there you go. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Got a few more. If you want to raise your hand, I'll Donahue style. I'll come to you.
Burning questions.
You got halfway up. It's like you debating. Yeah, you could do it. If we had a line, you just had to go to the end of the line. That's what it is. You can't just all right, I have a 9-part question in 16 pieces. Yeah, and trust me, if I don't put that rule in, they'll do it. All right, so what you got?
I guess for all aspiring voice actors that are out there, if you had to give one piece of advice over anything else, what would that be?
It would be to focus on acting, performance. Take acting classes, theater, scene study, improvisation. I think the myth is that I can do great impressions, or I can do accents, and I make my friends at work laugh. They say I should get into voice acting. I'm like, okay, that's a good start, but if you can't perform while using all those tools, you're useless. Okay, now is like the best time ever to be in voice acting. There's so many opportunities. You could do it in your closet, that's where I do most of my work now. I would just also suggest just pay attention to the environment. Like there's a guy who sent me his demo, and on his demo he did Mickey Mouse and Barney Rubble and all these characters. I'm like, that's great, but there are people who already have those jobs. You have to respect that no one's going to be like, oh, well, he could do it too. I'll just, no one's going to get the $5 version of Mickey Mouse. You dig? What you got to think about, if you really want to do this, when you want to pursue voiceover, especially in animation or anything, what is going to set you apart from everybody else? What's going to make you unique? Everybody does Mickey Mouse. Believe me, I know, because when I'm next to Brett Iwan, that's all I hear is people come up to his table going, oh, hi, Brett, it's me. Everyone's auditioning for him, and Bill Farmer as well. Think of something else, and don't sell yourself short. There's Fiverr out there. I'm just going to get my soapbox for a second. There are voice actors on there selling their talents for $5. I'm not kidding, and it undercuts people who make a living at it. So also consider that as well. Yeah.
And I'll add that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Yep.
So as long as you just keep going, you'll get there.
For real, on the real.
And hey, what you got this time?
Besides Impulse, who would you want to be in Young Justice?
Ooh, good question.
Oh.
I've always Nolan North knocks it out of the park, but I've always been a fan of the Superboy clone. I just I don't read a lot of comics, but when Superman died, I was like, well, let me dive in here and see how it spreads out, and I really liked the Superboy clone because he was a young, arrogant guy. He liked the spotlight. He was earnestly trying to save people, but I think he liked the attention. I don't know. I think he traveled with a camera crew, and he was like that. But I always I would love to take a stab at that if Nolan would let me. But I love doing Impulse. Bard Impulse, now it's all Crash. Remember the time that Nightwing tried to take a sample of my DNA? That was such a Dick Grayson thing to do. Pew! I just ran around the building and back. I'm that fast.
DC-wise, I'd love to see you take a crack at Booster Gold.
Oh, yeah. Who did him in Brave and the Bold? It was Tom, the guy from That Thing You Do.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. But no, I think that'd be a fun one for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so geez.
I like his costume.
Who's got another one?
Burning Desires, right here.
Oh, right over here. All right. And then Heather right there. Hey, what's your name?
My name's Kayla. So,
hi, Kayla.
When you were doing the voice of Haku, do you have like a specific story or memory from that time?
Yes, not so much when I was recording, but I did get to meet Mr. Miyazaki at the premiere in Toronto, and yeah, he was really cool. Another little tiny guy like me, and didn't speak any English. Spoke a little bit of English, a lot through interpreters. But he and his producer were so nice to me. They gifted me like bags of swag, Spirited Away swag. And my favorite memory is John Lasseter. I don't know if I should tell the story. All right, here we go. John Lasseter saw me in the. Oh, I can't tell a story. But
save it for the memoirs.
Yes. But Mr. Miyazaki smoked cigarettes, and my wife at the time also smoked at the time, and we were in the Toronto, the theater in Toronto, and you can't smoke in a theater, but they had a special section roped off indoors for the smokers. So he goes off to smoke, and my ex-wife is like, I'm going to go too. She's from the South, so she just invites herself wherever she wants to go. And I'm like, I don't think that you should, but it was too late. She was already gone. And she is 5'8", okay, and he's a little guy. And I'm talking with people, and I'm looking out, and all I see is the two of them having a ball, just like smoking, and she's laughing, smacking him on the back, talking, and they're not understanding each other whatsoever. He doesn't speak Southern. She doesn't speak Japanese. But it was a wonderful experience to get to meet him, and yeah, what a treat to be in that film, man. It's pretty special.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Great question.
Yes.
All right. Well, hello. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Heather. I'm actually nervous. This is like weird being on this side of things.
What?
I know, this is great. This has been a phenomenal panel. You guys are awesome. So obviously, Goofy movie is a coming-of-age story that a lot of us resonate with, and I want to know, what movie is that for you? What film do you consider another great coming-of-age story?
What a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
You should do interviews.
Get your own talk show on the web. Invite me, I'll do it.
You should do it. Yeah.
Yes. Gosh, the first thing that popped in my brain was Goonies for some reason. I just love that movie so hard, and I never saw it in the theater. I first saw it on VHS, and just like I wanted to be one of those kids. I wanted to like hang out with them and have that pack and go on adventures. I've always like that. That's why every time I come to a new city, I kind of just walk aimlessly, hoping to stumble upon somebody or escape the Fratellis. I don't know. Yeah. What about you? What's a coming of age for you besides a Goofy movie?
Oh my gosh. It's an excellent question.
It is, right?
I don't know. What's another good coming of age movie? I'm going to say Now and Then.
Now and Then. Refresh my memory. Who was in that?
I think it's like Christina Ricci and.
Oh yes. They played the younger versions of.
Yeah, like
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, my girlfriend was just watching that a couple months ago. Good movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Patty?
Yeah, Patty.
It's a tie between Stand By Me and Meatballs.
Oh my gosh, Meatballs! I saw that in the theater, and I was like, I want to go to camp so bad.
I know.
If every camp counselor is like Bill Murray. Yes.
So absolutely. Well, great question. Well, usually now, Heather, you have a show. Tell our audience what your show.
Okay, it's called Talk Culture, and it started, during the craziness of the world, and we've been blessed to have Mars on twice, actually. So
it's too much fun.
Lovely guest.
And you always ask some like great questions.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
too much fun.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We are just about at time. Mars, what's on the future docket? You've always got all kinds of side hustles and stuff going on. What's coming up that you can share with us?
Well, Patty, doing more events. Going to Santa Ana for a Halloween-themed event for witchy reasons with Omri and Vanessa. This is not public yet, but we are privately Omri, Vanessa, myself, and Thora Birch are doing our own little party in Salem at the end of October, October 20th. So keep on a lookout. There's a just follow me on the socials, and we'll have an official announcement. I can't, because there's links and ticket things have to be fixed before. But that's going to be, we love each other so much. We want to celebrate with the fans in the place where they shot the movie. So we're going to be doing that.
And hopefully by then you could actually talk about the movie by name.
I know, right? We've themed the whole thing, so it's not. We're calling it. It's just a bunch of Halloween, and it's just 4 actors hanging out in Salem because we love Halloween so much.
And again, we're making light of how we tiptoe around this, but it is a very serious issue going on.
Oh my gosh!
The
yes.
SAG and the WGA Writers Guild again are they're doing this for very, very good reasons.
Yes, 1,000%. I'm behind my peers and our unions and the WGA 1,000%. I mean, I wish I could go in. I mean, we have more time, but the way that the studios devalue the people they need the most is so prevalent, and I'm so pleased. I've always been a big stand up for the little guy and fight for what's right, and so I'm very pleased we're striking. I'm pleased it's going on this long. I'm pleased that everything the AMPTP is trying is thrown back in their face. I hope we burn the studios to the ground. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm not kidding. I think there should be a renaissance of there's no creatives making decisions anymore. George Lucas has even said this. I mean, this is what these big creators are up against. So I know it's frustrating right now, but trust me, this is for the greater good, for the entertainment that you consume, and for everybody who works in film and television and in video games. I think that's coming up too. So don't be surprised if you hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. I just. My simple answer to it all is just if you think that talent and writing and performing can be replaced by an AI, then certainly a mid-tier entertainment executive can be replaced by an AI.
Precisely. Yeah.
So they're creating their own. They want to create their own Frankenstein monster, and it didn't end well for Dr. Frankenstein.
Did not.
If you read the book, you definitely know that. Oh my goodness. Des Moines Animate. This was Jason Marsden, and that was our time.